Welcome to this session on setting up the GL Journal template to import opening balances into the system. In this session, we'll help you understand how to use the Excel workbook that's used to configure your GL Journal data. The workbook contains several sheets, and each one has a specific purpose to help define how journals are created and posted in the system. We'll start with the instruction sheet. This sheet works like a step-by-step guide. It explains what information you need to enter, how to enter it correctly, and shows you how the different sheets are linked. It also points out which fields are required and what format you need to follow to make sure your upload is successful. To learn more about how to use this guide, you can also watch the Data Template Overview session. It gives you a better idea of how to read and understand the instruction sheet. Let's begin with the GL Journal sheet, which is one of the most important parts of the template. This sheet is used to define all the different types of journal entries that will be posted to the general ledger, such as opening balances, salary provisions, prepaid expenses, and other financial adjustments. Each row in this sheet represents one journal header. You'll enter key details that tell the system how and where the journal should be posted, ensuring your financial data is accurately captured and reported. Let's start with the first column. Organization. Here, you enter the name of the organization where this journal will be recorded and posted. For example, Sonic Venture. Make sure to enter the exact name of your organization as it appears in the system. Next, we move to the accounting schema. Here, you enter the accounting schema name from your system. This schema is already defined and controls rules for currency, costing method, calendar, and ledger setup. The third column is document number. This should be a unique reference number for each journal. Enter the document number according to the record maintenance practice for GL journals. It helps the system identify and track each journal entry uniquely. After that, we have the document type here. You select the document type from a predefined drop-down list, such as GL journal. This tells the system what kind of transaction is being recorded. Moving on to the description. This is a short explanation of what the journal is for, like GL journal against salary or prepaid insurance. It helps users understand the purpose of the journal at a glance. This field is required and should be meaningful and relevant. Then we have the document date. This is the date when the journal document was created. For example, 1st of September 2025. It should follow the format DD-MM-YYYY. Next is the account date. This is one of the most critical dates. It determines when the amounts hit the ledger. It's also used for things like financial reporting and currency conversion. It should follow the format DD-MM-YYYY. After that comes the period. This defines the accounting period the journal belongs to. For example, September 2025. It's tied to the calendar in your accounting schema and must match the account date range. Moving on, we have the currency code. This field specifies the transaction currency. Select the currency from the drop-down list. In this case, it's set to Indian rupee. Then, we have the posting type. This tells the system what kind of journal is being posted. Select a value from the drop-down list. Options include actual budget commitment reservation, virtual statistical. Choose the appropriate type based on the nature of the entry. Now we come to the total debit column. Here you enter the total debit amount for the journal in the source currency. For example, 35,000. This is the sum of all debit lines for that journal in the detail sheet. And finally, the total credit column. This is the total credit amount for the journal. It must equal the total debit to ensure the journal is balanced. For example, a credit of 35,000 rupees matches the debit of 35,000 rupees. This completes the GL Journal header section. After completing the GL Journal header section, the next step is to enter the journal line details. This is done separately in the GL Journal line sheet. Let's move to the GL Journal line sheet. This sheet is used to define the individual lines that make up each journal entry recorded in the GL Journal sheet. Each row here corresponds to a specific transaction detail under a journal document. These details include the accounts to debit or credit, amounts, descriptions, and other financial dimensions necessary for accurate posting. Each journal document, from the GL journal sheet, must have at least 2 corresponding line entries in this sheet, one for debit and another for credit. The total debit and credit amounts must always match for each journal to ensure it is balanced. First, we have the organization here. You enter the same name of the organization used in the GL journal sheet. For example, Sonic Venture. Make sure this matches exactly with the organization in the GL journal sheet so that the system correctly links the line to the journal header. Next, we move to the document number. This is a drop-down field that shows document numbers entered in the GL journal sheet. Select the appropriate document number. This connects the journal line to its header record and ensures accuracy in reporting. The third column is Accounting Schema Name. Enter the same name of the accounting schema, which is entered in the GL journal sheet. This ensures that accounting rules remain consistent between the header and the line. After that, we have the chart of account. Enter the name of your chart of account, which is already defined in the system and linked to the selected accounting schema. The chart of account is used to record and classify all ledger entries. Moving on to the ledger account code Onfinity. Here, you enter the ledger account code for this journal line, based on your organization's chart of accounts. For example, 60,130 for salaries. Make sure to enter the correct account code as defined in your chart of account. Then we have the ledger account name. Enter the name of the ledger account corresponding to the ledger account code provided. Examples include salaries, charge expense, accounts, payable trade. This provides a clear explanation of the nature of the account being recorded and posted to. Next is the line number. This is a unique number to identify each line under a document. Examples: 10, 20, 30. It helps maintain the sequence of line entries under a single document number. After that comes the description. This is a short explanation of the journal line. For example, salary paid to Jack. This field is optional, but helps users quickly understand the reason for each entry. Moving on, we have the currency code. Select the currency from the drop-down list. This specifies the currency used for the journal line. Then, we have the conversion type. This tells the system how to handle currency conversion for the journal line. Enter the spot as the default value in this field. Next is the currency conversion rate. This is the rate used to convert the transaction amount to the base currency. If the base currency is different from the transaction currency, enter the applicable conversion rate in this field. Otherwise, if the base currency and transaction currency are the same, enter 1 in this column. Set this field carefully to ensure correct accounting in base currency. After that comes the source debit amount. Here, you enter the amount to debit for the given account. For example, 20,000 and 15,000, only one of debit or credit should be filled in per line, not both. Then we have the source credit amount. This is the amount to credit for the given account. For example, 35,000. Ensure that the debit and credit values are entered correctly, and that total debits match total credits for each document. Moving on to the accounted debit amount. This reflects the final debit amount that will hit the ledger. It is usually the same as the source debit if no currency conversion is involved. For example, 20,000. Then we have accounted credit amount. This is the final credit amount to be posted in the ledger. For example, 35,000. It must match the source credit unless currency conversion is applied. This ensures proper reflection of values in the base currency of your accounting system. Then we have the dimensions for GL journal line. In this section, you define additional classification details to enrich your journal line entries. These fields are optional, but highly useful for reporting, cost tracking, and financial analysis. Each of these dimensions, business partner, product, activity, and organization unit, helps assign the journal line to specific business components, such as vendors, departments, products, or internal projects. First, we have the business partner enter the vendor or customer code that is related to the specific journal line. This connects the line to the relevant vendor or customer record in the system. Then we have the product legacy code. Enter the legacy product code that this journal line is associated with. This helps track journal entries related to specific products. Next is the activity. Enter the activity code that applies to this journal line. This allows allocation of expenses or income to the correct business activity. Finally, we have the organization unit. Enter the code of the organization unit responsible for the transaction. This ensures the journal line is posted against the correct store, branch, or department for accurate reporting. This completes the GL journal line section. After entering all journal lines, verify that each document has matching debit and credit totals. A journal is only valid and ready to post if it is balanced. The last sheet is the list reference sheet. This sheet contains all the standard drop-down options and lookup codes that are used across the other sheets in the workbook. For the GL journal, you'll find important categories like document type, currency, posting type. These predefined lists are provided to keep your data consistent and accurate, helping reduce the chance of errors. It also makes your work faster, since you can simply select values from drop-down menus instead of typing them out manually. Whenever you're filling out the GL journal sheet and need to know which options to pick, refer back to this list reference sheet for guidance. By following the structure and rules outlined in this session, you'll be able to complete and upload your GL journal data template accurately and efficiently. Thank you for watching, and we hope this session helps you fill in the data accurately and correctly as per your GL journal needs.